It is, and now you can no longer look at the camera. Okay, did you all get it out of your system? Well, hi, I'm Miss Williams. And have you done informational text before?
Yes.
So what's an informational text? Can somebody raise their hand? Yeah.
Informational text is like a text that can choose.
So it's a non-fictional?
Non-fiction.
Great. So I chose a book. We're going to read. I'm going to read to you. And we're going to pick out the supporting details and the main ideas. Because you think an ice cream, the cone's fun and all, but we really want the ice cream, right? The cone's just extra. And the ice cream's easy, and the cone, for me, is the best part. So, the book is called The Tree Lady. Can anybody tell me what they might think the main idea is about? Yeah.
And see,
So I'm going to write that down. The main idea is about
or a question you might have before we read the book. So think of it to yourself.
and trees.
And then turn to your neighbor and talk about a question you have before we read, something that you're most thinking.
So that's our main idea. So we're going to put it down there. And what we're going to do as we read the book, I'm going to stop because I have some other sticky notes in there for me. And I'm going to give you some supporting details that tells me that this book is about a lady with trees. And every once in a while, I'm going to have us, we're all going to stop, and I'm going to give you each a sticky note, and you're going to write down something that you heard me say, and that will tell you why the book is about a lady and trees, okay? Any questions before we begin?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Headphones without music. Okay. Like earbuds. Okay.
No, it doesn't always give you the main idea, but this one, well, that's just like that at the title and on this picture, we think the main idea is about the trees. We could read it and it could be about rainbows. We have no idea.
Do you have any questions?
Okay, because we're going to look through this book together, and we're all going to decide as a group what the main idea is.
About earbuds. Thank you. All right, one more.
This illustrator is
Maybe earbuds. Okay. All right, so with the book in our
on
chart,
the outside.
you will see just in
Jill.
front of you. And the
It's
regular
Jill
long reading. There's three
Ellery.
sections. I learn, I wonder,
Jill
and more.
Ellery.
So for I learn,
Illustrator, and the author is
something that
Josephine
you learn
Hopkins.
from me reading, something that
Okay,
taught you
good.
while reading, you can write it down.
Okay.
I
The tree
wonder
lady.
is a question, and maybe while reading you have a question.
Catherine
Why?
Olivia Stevens grew up
Something
in the
that
woods of
and then
Northern
a wow was like,
California.
oh wow.
She
that's
gathered
the fact that
leaves
you
from
put
oaks and elms.
So
She
while
collected
reading,
needles
the
from
first
pines
thing
and
is I'm gonna
redwoods.
demonstrate
She
some of
braided
these,
them
and then
together with flowers
we'll
to
come
make
up with stuff
necklaces and
and
bracelets.
write down.
It was the
And then
1860s,
have time to share.
and girls from Kate's side of town weren't supposed to get their hands dirty, but Kate did.
The word muff has been around since the Middle Ages. Starting in the 1700s, people wore muffs on their hands.
Kate listened well in school. She learned how to write and count.
In the
She
1800s,
remembered the
hand
poems
muffs
and the
looked
stories
like
she
this.
read. But best of all, she liked studying wind and rain, muscles and bones, plants and trees, especially trees.
In
Most girls were
1858,
discouraged
William
from studying
Clark invented
science.
one of the first
But not
instruments called the ear, cheek, and chin muffs.
So, a supporting
Other
detail
designs followed.
I've gone from the first 2
The
pages
improvement in the
was Kate liked studying about trees in the classroom. And that is why, that's one of the reasons why I think
Okay,
this
so for
book
this
is about
page,
trees.
I have two.
Okay, so I'm going to put that up there with the supporting details.
So my I learned that the first kind of ear muff was called ear, cheek, and chin muff.
Kate felt the trees were her friends. She loved the way
But I also have
they
an
reached
eyeliner.
towards the sky
By William
and how their
Shows
branches
Covered
stretched
Chin.
wide to catch the light. Trees seemed to
So as I
trees
keep reading,
seemed to
you can
Kate
think of
like
your own
giant umbrellas that
for each
sheltered
one. One was
and
telling you one
animals,
share.
birds and plants that
Another
lived in
inventor
fields.
named Isaac
Not everyone feels at
placed
home in the
ads in
woods.
major newspapers
Kate
to
did.
promote his ear protector. Fine art made other things too. Most out of rubber.
When Kate grew up, she left home to study science
He
at
also made
college.
dress guards. which
She looked at
protected
soil
ladies'
and
clothes from sweat.
insects through a microscope. She
Believe it
learned
or not, his company
how
exists
plants
today.
make food
You
and
can
how they
survive
drink
your
water.
sweat protection.
She studied trees from around the world. No woman had ever graduated from the University of California
But the
with
guy
a degree in
everyone knows
science.
as the inventor of
But in
ear muffs is Chester
1881,
Greenwood.
Kate did.
As As the story
So
goes,
now I'm all going to give you
and it was sensitive to
a post-it note,
He didn't like to wrap his head in
and you can write.
so
You're going to write one thing that I've read from anything.
he ran home to Granny and asked her to fetch some earmuffs out of wire cloth.
And you're just going to write something that tells you that this book could be about trees or about a girl.
Obviously, the story isn't quite true, since earmuffs had already been born many years earlier.
So you can go ahead and just write one thing, one
And
detail.
there's another story that says Chester didn't like the woolen earmuffs that most kids wore, so he fashioned something else. What do you think really happened? What we do know for sure is that after testing various versions of his earmuffs, when Chester was just 19, he got one of these from the US government. It's a patent. I know what you're thinking. Just what is a patent? Patents are issued by the US Patent Office.
Okay. And when you have one, you can just like raise up your post-it note and I'll come and take it from you.
It's like this.
Thank you.
A patent allows the inventor the sole right to make, use, or sell something. It means that no one but the inventor can make money. Here are some famous patents. Coke bottles, Scotch tape,
Okay, you have a few more seconds.
space capsule, Legos,
Hmm?
and Apple Android.
Right, yeah, done.
Okay, so we're going to take a minute, get you to finish your thought, something that you wrote down, and then turn to your neighbor and talk about some of the things you wrote. If you wrote in outline, and I wondered, or wow. Think of some of your own ideas. What did you come up with?
Okay. While you two in the back finish, I'm just going to read some other things everybody else wrote. Somebody said Kate grew up and traveled to learn about trees and science. And that is true. And that supports our main idea. Kate likes things that people don't like. Do you want to learn about trees? Do you want to go and just study about trees?
Okay.
It's a little bit boring for us, right? But Kate really enjoys it.
I wonder, or
What do you want to learn about?
I wondered about biology,
how are they made? Alright.
physics, or psychology.
Alright, we're going to do one more.
Those are very good things to go and learn about. Somebody else said she likes learning about trees more than anything else.
You can write that, sure.
This book, I know is about a tree because the girl likes trees.
So I also had a wow.
She likes
And I
things
said
that
there
girls
are
don't
so many
like.
patents in the world.
It did say that in most of the girls did not like it, right? And she was the only one from that university to graduate as a girl studying science.
Keep going.
And Kate loved trees when she was a little child.
Chester's earmuffs came along.
Which is
Earmuffs
true as well.
didn't fit snugly to the ears.
And finally,
Chester came up with a tight steel band that held the muffs in place. That
she
is
was
what
the
Chester
first
did
girl
for
that had
earmuffs.
passed school.
He made
that has
people's
passed
ears
school.
even warmer. It's just like the story of Thomas Edison and the light bulb.
Did I
These
read it right?
inventions came before Edison's. But before
And what
Edison,
I said Kate went to university to study science and she studied
one
trees
of
from
Edison's
around
early
the
light
world.
bulbs lasted for 40 hours. That was a big improvement. Edison
So you see how
didn't invent the light
the
bulb.
ice cream's
He
filling
made it
up?
better. That is what Chester did for the earmuffs.
Toppings, yeah.
Alright, keep going.
After graduation, Kate took a job in Southern California.
It is said
When
that
her
Chester
boat
was
docked in
boy,
San Diego, she saw that the new home was a desert town.
he went door to
Kate
door
never thought
selling
she'd
eggs.
be living in
He
a
got
place
food
with
sandwiches.
very few
With
trees.
the profit from the eggs,
But
he
now
bought candy.
she did.
Most kids would eat the candy. But not Chester. He sold it.
Kate
Even as a
began
boy,
her
he was
job as a
practicing
teacher.
good
She
business
was also
skills.
the vice principal of the school, so she had to make sure that everyone followed the rules.
It was those good
Kate
business
missed
skills that
studying
helped the young
science. I was
Chester
not
sell
sure
his ear protectors
she would
as
stay
far
on
off
the
as
job.
Canada.
But for 2
Soon
years,
he earned
she
enough
did.
money to buy a wonderful home for his family. It sat high in the
From
hill
her school,
overlooking the
Kate
town
could see
and the
City
river.
Park in the hills
And it
above the
was said
town.
that he had the
It
first
was
steam car in the
called the
town.
park, but it didn't look like one.
Chester also had
It
a
was where
workshop in
people
town. On
raised
the top
cattle
floor
and
was
dumped
his earmuff
garbage.
factory.
Most
Below it
Indians
was his bicycle
didn't
shop.
think trees could ever grow there. But
Chester
Kate did.
didn't just invent earmuffs. He worked on other products as well. Here are a few of
She
his
did have
improvements. The round
With Kate's
box
love for the
pillow
woods, she thought
The
San Diego needed more
and the
trees
umbrella bag.
than anything else. So she left
And
teaching
there
to
was a
become a
portable
gardener.
house, which
She knew she must get trees that could live in a dry soil with lots and lots of sunshine. her friend Lloyd, Kate couldn't find trees like
We'll
that.
take a minute to vote.
But she did. Yes.
Alright, we'll stop in a minute and we'll take a minute to post them. Yes.
I am not sure.
They look like
I don't know, that could be one of your I wonders.
Right? But on the next
We'll
page,
stop in a minute and post them.
they might tell us. Okay.
While Chester was busy with his business, his
They
wife
are
was busy
Jack
with
and
her
Raven.
affairs.
Oh, I have
She had joined the main chapter of the women's suffrage movement. The suffrage movement was a women's right movement. One of its main goals was to get women the right to vote.
Excuse me?
Women were not able to vote in the late 1800s. Isabel had meetings at their house on the hill. Perhaps this is why Chester avoids.
Yeah, it looks like it has a lot of flowers, and so does that one down there. So these are all the trees Kate
In
planted.
1937, Chester Green was passed away. Soon after his death, his factory was destroyed.
Oh, that's
Chester
cool. Kate became a tree hunter. She wrote letters to gardeners from all around the world and asked them to send her seeds
And in turn,
that
your
could
partner
grow
talk
in the
about
desert.
what you came up with.
She also traveled south into Mexico. She would look
If
for
you came up
trees
with a
that
wow
liked
or an I wonder
tops
or
and
an
dry weather and steep hills and canyons. Not everyone knows how to hunt for trees, but Kate did. And I wrote another sticky note, and I said she wrote to people who lived in hot places. And I know they live in hot places because here on the postcard it tells you like here's Africa, Spain, Brazil, Mexico, Morocco, Egypt. And I all know those are very like warm climates. So now, when you take one and pass it around, you're gonna get another sticky note,
Good job.
and you're gonna write something
Okay, we're gonna
you've
keep
learned
But you
about Kate and the trees, or something that will support our main idea.
Alright, you want to put that up? Is that your wow or I wonder?
Yeah, it goes to sleep. But
Okay.
the green light tells you that's still on.
Alright, last one. Do you want to come up and put it over here? What did you have? Oh.
I wonder, are there uses for earmuffs?
Okay. Alright, you can put one up, okay?
Thank you.
Alright,
Okay. And when you have to
Okay,
get
we
the
should
shape
keep
in
going.
hand, it can be from anything we saw, from the pictures or
what's
anything.
interesting is that by 1939, people seem to remember Chester and forgot all about other earmuff inventors. An article in Life magazine talks about him. They only remembered Chester. To them, he was the inventor of earmuffs. Many people wanted his legacy to live on. In the 1970s, a man named Mickey, who worked at the newsstand, thought there should be a Chester Greenwood Day. Chester Greenwood Day went all the way to the main legislature. The congressmen argued back and forth. Some wanted the day, some thought it was silly. One senator said, now we broke the national media into giving us publicity. Let's do it. Another senator disagreed, saying, I predict that every December 21st, Maine will be back in the news. After much disagreement,
Okay, right, people finish,
Chester
I'm gonna
Greenwood
stop
Day
reading them.
was official in
She knows how to
1977.
get the specific trees she needs,
December
which
21st.
is true because she was kind and writing all different types of people. Kate sent letters to people in hot places to send her seeds because she knew that she couldn't go into a place where it was very, very rainy because those trees need the rain and not the heat, right? It is mainly talking about plants that grow in hot weather. That is true as well.
Chester may not have created the original earmuff, but he made it better.
Kate
Sometimes
plants
that's what makes the difference.
all kinds of trees.
Alright, what's your question?
What I know about Kate is that she
Alright, finish any thoughts you have. If you have any
has heard that the trees can grow in the deserts, which is very true.
It should be on yours.
We know that Kate is a tree hunter. She hunts for trees all around the world.
I don't know.
And
That's what I
finally,
wonder.
Kate wants to be
Yeah,
a
that's
tree
what I
hunter to
wondered.
make San Diego have trees.
What did you write for this one?
So those are all things we've learned, right? Soon, Kate's trees were planted along the streets, around the schools, and in small parks and plazas all over town.
Good job, yeah.
People
What
brought
you were
trees
made of
from
originally.
Kate's nursery
And
and
then I
planted them in their yard.
Okay, now,
From elms
yes.
and oaks to eucalyptus and palms. By the turn of the century, young trees from Kate's nursery were growing in every part of San Diego.
Good job. Here, I'll put
But
one for you.
most people didn't
Right,
think
we're
a
gonna do
desert town
one
could
more
sustain
piece of
so many trees. But
Yeah,
Kate did.
do you have one more?
Then, in 1909, the city leaders announced that a great fair called the
Good job, yeah, you did
California Exposition was coming to San Diego in 1915. The fair would be held in City Park, which was now called Balboa
Okay,
Park.
these are a lot of good
Kate
ones.
felt Balboa Park
Alright, so as a
still
whole,
needed more trees.
What are some things that we learned through the whole, one whole thing that we
That was
learned?
more to look beautiful and to shade the visitors that came to the fair. And this is a map of San Diego.
It's like the door actually saying, is that how
Yep.
Excuse me?
not these pictures?
Yeah. This is nonfiction.
He was, yeah, so he
So
approved.
this is a true story.
Yes.
That was too many trees for Kate to plant by herself, but she knew lots of people could do it together. She asked her friends to bring their friends and come to the park for tree planting.
He did a lot of other creations.
Again and again, people volunteered.
Do you have any other ones? What's one big
Those
wow?
volunteers
Like
weren't
the
sure they
most-
could plant enough trees,
The biggest wow
but
factor
before
that you
long,
found in the
they
whole book.
did. And when the fair opened, San Diego was ready. Millions of trees and plants filled Balboa Park.
Everyone likes
The
to
fair
celebrate.
had so many visitors it stayed open for 2 years
Yeah,
instead
it's
of one.
been great.
People came from the near and far to see the attractions and stroll through the cool shades. The fairgoers couldn't
It
believe
wouldn't have
San
been
Diego had
approved.
such
Made
magnificent
another thing.
gardens.
One more.
But thanks to Kate, it did. And something I wrote after I read that page, where there are many types of trees that can be planted in a hot climate. Because you know how Kate looked so hard to find these different types of trees? And if you look at it, there's different colors and different types of trees. So there's a lot of trees that can be planted in those types of gardens.
Yeah, he did.
In the years after the fair,
Okay, and what's
Kate was
one more?
given
I
many
wonder.
awards for her
What's
work,
one of your biggest
and
questions
people
you have in
took
the
to
whole book?
calling her the mother of Balboa Park. She
How do you
continued
pass away?
gardening and
Yeah, I'm
planting
not
trees
sure.
until her death in 1940.
Broke into his factory.
Back then, you
Yeah,
could have
maybe.
imagined that San Diego
Yes.
would become the lush, leafy city it is today.
Yeah, I don't know.
But all along, year after year,
Yeah, maybe he's
Catherine
not.
Olivia
Do you think
Stevens
he might not be?
did,
He might be.
and the end,
He might have, yeah.
she did. So you're going to take one around again, and you're going to write something.
Yeah,
You can either now write another supporting detail,
maybe.
or you can write something that maybe
Thank you
could have
for
been
doing this
another
with me.
main idea of the story. Some stories have two main ideas, right? So it's either or, it's up to you.
Alright. Did you like this? You liked it learning by earmuffs? I didn't know any of this was right either. Sure. Sure. Do you want to add it to our chart when you're done?
Journaling on the bush.
I'll probably make my license. I would think it's just a change of,
Yeah.
because we can put it around the clock.
Where are you going to put it? Wow. Good job. This looks really good.
Okay, great. Somebody wrote, Kate
Thank you
helped
guys for doing this with me.
helped San Diego become really beautiful, which is true, because now San Diego has a lot of trees, thanks to Kate.
That'll be fun. Maybe. You did it last year. Same thing last year in 4th grade.
Somebody else wrote that Kate was having hope to make San Diego nice and pretty to bring people along. What I know about Kate is that Kate helped San Diego have nice trees. We know that the trees she grew helped people. Oh, that people helped to grow the trees. Even in the desert villages, she finds ways to make it beautiful. In San Diego, a fair they made a fair with trees. And And finally, the story is mainly about how Kate loved making trees for San Diego, or planting trees in San Diego. And that is it, boys and girls. Did you like the book?
Yes.
You think it was interesting?
Yes.
Now when you go to San Diego, you can tell your parents or whoever you go to that you know why there's trees there. Yeah? Great, well thank you.
All right, boys and girls, how do you feel? These two are what?
Red hot!
These two are what?
Red